Hi guys. Yeah, it's me. It's me, Twilight Prince. I'm coming at you a little bit differently in this little video here because, as you can kind of tell, I'm in VR chat. So how to begin this? By the time you're seeing this video, it will be January 28th. Oh, and my cat's right behind me there. But yeah, it will be January 28th by the time you guys see this video. And those who know me well enough will know that January 28th is my birthday. This one's a little different, though. This birthday is my 40th. That's right. Despite that, a lot of people have actually told me that, you know, I probably definitely don't sound that way. Nor probably sometimes even act that way. But yeah, I have been alive on this planet for 40 years. Generally about roughly half of the normal life expectancy of the average human being, give or take, depending on, you know, health and all that good stuff. It's really hard to believe I've actually been alive this long already. A lot of it just seemed to have gone by for, you know, quite some time. It just went by in a blur. I mean, I still remember quite a fair number of fun things that, you know, happened in my childhood and my teenage years and even some of my young adult years. But unfortunately, you know, as I say, the mind is always the first to go. Well, I mean, not really. I mean, yeah, granted, I have been a little bit kind of for brain in my everyday life from time to time, but, you know, for the most part, you know, I'm still in pretty good health for where I am right now. But, yeah, I was born January 28th, 1984. A time when, you know, there was, you know, technology was just starting to get right off of its legs and everything like that. And, you know, everything just kind of started just building up from there. I lived through the 90s. I was a bit of a 90s kid. I mean, I was born in the 80s, but I grew up in the 90s, basically. And, you know, I also grew up in, like, the, you know, the early 2000s and everything. I graduated in 2002. Zero Two rocks the house. I'm not sure if anybody else would know that, but that was basically our little cheer for when I was a freshman in high school. We would always just yell Zero Two rocks the house because, you know, the high schoolers always wanted to graduate in 2000 and something like that, or earlier. But, you know, I've definitely been around long enough now to kind of been around the park a few times, basically. I've seen a lot of things in my life. I've met a lot of people in my life. I've experienced a lot of things in my life so far. And I'm honestly looking forward to what the other half of my life will give me. So, I mostly wanted to make this video here to say thank you. Like, genuinely, thank you. I'm honestly very glad that there are people out there that will still kind of, like, give a rat's patoot about an old duff like me. I'm very glad that, you know, a lot of people find me both as good friends, as a good entertainer, and as well as just, you know, an overall good person. I honestly try to be a decently good person. I try to stay optimistic despite all the bullshit that is going on in the world these days. Seriously, can Earth just, like, get a break every so often? Honestly. But I'm not here to talk about that. No. This is a much more happier thing to do. I just honestly want to just thank everyone for, you know, everything that they've done. Everything they've done, both, you know, to help me as a person, as well as, you know, just to be there for me, to help me keep my confidence going, and above all, you know, help keep my anxiety at bay for the most part. I was not always the most confident of people growing up. I was a very sheltered kid growing up. I didn't... Hell, despite what some people might think, I like to think that my overall thought process, my way of thinking, my mind matured a lot slower than most people. As some people might know, I am on the spectrum, and, you know, I never use that as an excuse. No. I never use that as an excuse. Like, it may hinder me from time to time, but I try to cope with it. I try to live with it. I try to be the same person I always am. So, with all that pretty much said, again, I just wanted to personally say thank you to everybody that means everything to me. Most notably, there are a couple of people and some groups of people that I just want to give a small little shout out to. First and foremost, of course, I definitely want to give a shout out to my boyfriend, Irish Ian. I know you're probably watching this at some point, but I just want to say that, you know, you and I together have been through thick and thin and thinner, and maybe even beyond that. And no matter what situation either of us get into, we get through it together. And I honestly could not ask for anything better in somebody that I can consider the love of my life. And nothing is ever going to change that. I love you, sweetie. I really do. And I hope, you know, you and I will continue to love each other for many, many years to come. Second of all, I would like to also give a personal thanks to my Discord group, Tinge of Chaos. Tinge of Chaos is, for those who don't know, a very, very nice little Discord group that I did not honestly ever expect to get as big as it did. But it did. And I've met so many wonderful people on there. Almost too many to count. Among them, of course, I mean, we got my moderators. Of course, Ian's one of them. But I also got Time Chamber. Very awesome dude. Seriously, go and watch him on YouTube. Seriously. Go. Just go. I don't mind if you pause this video. Go. Mal especially is also a good person. Like, honestly, there is never a dull moment with him around, and I would not have anything better than that. Stardart, you are probably one of the loudest people I have ever met, and I am more than honored to call you my friendly rival in cart. You always forever will be. Let me see, who else here? Of course, there's also our good friend Time Bomb, also known as Lucky. He is a very pleasant dude to be around, always good for a laugh, and, I'm Rusty. If you get it, you get it. Were there any other mods I forgot? Don't think so. If I do forget anybody specific with this, I do apologize. Just so you know, I appreciate everything you guys all do, no matter if you're, you know, named a mod or whatever. But I do appreciate everything you guys do. A couple of very noteworthy people in Tinge of Chaos, or TOC as we call it. Moe, you are honestly probably one of the best, like, street smart guys I have ever met, and you have taught me, like, so many interesting things. Not to mention the fact that you are You literally kill it in Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably not as much as one other certain individual that I'll get to later, but you know what I mean. So, keep on chugging, my man. This might be a little bit out of the blue, but Cosmo. I know you're probably... I know you haven't been all that too active recently, but you've always been, like, a very funny guy to have around. And quite frankly, I'm glad that you're here, man. Like, seriously, keep command grabbing. Just keep doing what you do, man. You're amazing. Who are some other noteworthy guys in TOC I remember? Think here. Well, one of the more recent ones, Xeno. Xeno, you have so much talent that it is outright amazing. And quite frankly, as I probably mentioned to you at one point, you have pretty much inspired me to try to get back to some of my own big projects that I kind of left lying around and gathering dust a while back. One of which in particular will actually go along with another group of people that I will get to later. But honestly, man, you are amazing and multi-talented, and I just want to say, you know, keep it up, man. Seriously. I know I can't really get through, like, every individual people in TOC because I do want to keep this, as brief as possible. But I just want to say that, you know, no matter if I named you or not, you're all special to me. And I just wanted to let you all know that I very much appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate what you do for the group. I appreciate all the great times that we have together, and I hope we continue to have so many more in the future, whether it be with cards or something else entirely and everything like that. So, again, personal shout out to my server, Tinja Chaos. Thank you guys for everything, and let's keep on going, alright? Let the chaos commence. Moving onwards, there is one other group of people that I would also like to mention. And this one kind of dates back a little bit, and even though I have not been active with a fair number of them for a little while, I want to go back to the Zelda Classic group I used to be with. Now, some of those individuals I still keep in contact with from here and there from time to time, and, you know, I still sometimes go back and actually just mess around with Zelda Classic and see what I can do on there, and, you know. But I remember there was actually a time when I was so invested in Zelda Classic, I actually made my own at one point and tried my darndest to make a second one, but I just couldn't find the right steps to do so. And if you remember what I said just a moment ago, I mentioned, like, getting back to big projects that were gathering dusts. Well, that's one of them. And honestly, I would not mind wanting to get back to it. I really wouldn't. So, this is just the personal little shout out to everybody that I used to hang out with in the old ZC crew. Be it, let's see if I can remember some of their names. Epi, Team UDF, Russ, Avon, let me see here, anybody else I can remember. I remember one named Bagel. I don't know whatever happened to him. I haven't heard from him in God knows how long. Oh yeah, who could forget Jubs? Yeah, I mean, he's got his own little group going right now, and, you know, I definitely remember sharing a lot of great memories with him and his little group. I should really go back and say hi to him some more. You know, Jubs, Sand Twister, Toonstar Freak, and all them. Yeah, I should definitely go back and say hi to them at some point. Of course, two notable casts of characters that I distinctly remember from my days, and who I still keep in some contact with these days. Evan and Moosh. You two are like, how do I even begin to describe you two? One of you is a very down-to-earth person, but also has so many interesting and even some downright, trollish ideas from time to time. That's Moosh. And then there's Evan. This guy is an enigma wrapped in a burrito and tucked into a wrapper somewhere down in a 7-Eleven in the middle of God knows who, in the middle of God knows what. He has a very interesting way of pushing people past what they think are their limits. And it's for that reason that I do honestly respect him. And I know he doesn't really, take, praise and everything like that all too interestingly, but honestly, Evan, despite all of the bullshit that you have put me through in life, thanks. My life would be a lot more boring without you. And thanks. Seriously, thank you for all the stuff that you've shoved onto me and tried to make me do. And don't worry, there's still plenty more of that I need to catch up on. So, with that now out of the way, there is one other group of people that I would really like to do, and for those who are actually in that group and actually watching this, you already know who I'm talking about. As of recently, I have also been part of another very special group of people. And it's actually a group of people that are right here on VR Chat. That group of people is known as Last Call. And we run a nice little side of barkeepers, virtual barkeepers, here at the Midnight Bar. And basically, I started meeting up with these guys I want to say around the middle of last year. And I don't know what it is about them, but something drew me towards them like a magnet. Normally here on VR Chat, I would normally have just been the quiet person who would just suddenly, just wander around different lobbies and being all muted like that. And I would barely ever say a word because I didn't think that anybody in their right mind would want to talk to somebody around my age. Because, let's face it, how many nearly 40-year-old, well, as of this point, how many 40-year-old people do you actually see in VR Chat? Not a lot. But these guys are different. These guys, seriously, something about them just clicked with me. And I really love being with them. I love bartending with them. I love just hanging out with them. They are all just some of the best vibe people you could ever meet. So, shout-outs, of course, to my man Weiss, who is always highly optimistic. He is always very down-to-earth. He's very funny when he's drunk, too, might I add. And, quite frankly, he's definitely one of the best besties you could ever ask for. And not to mention the fact that he's oddly very wise for his age, and I find that very intriguing, and it gives me a sliver of hope for the coming generation of people. Of course, there's definitely a lot of others in Last Call I need to give a shout out to. Blank Pixel, most especially, the head of Last Call, and forever a good friend, and honestly, they're just really awesome. Couple of other good ones. Mimetron, who else? I'm trying to remember some other names here. Koshi. Definitely gotta give a shout out to Koshi. Who else? Well, of course, I mean, although they are not part of Last Call themselves, I do have to give another very special shout out to Midnights in Valhalla. The proprietor of the Midnight Bar, and the one who commissioned the esteemed J-Melt to actually make said bar. I mean, if they had not done that, then, yeah, Last Call wouldn't have existed, and I would never have met all these wonderful people. Once again, you know, even if I did not call out your name individually, you know, just know that you all have a very special place in my heart, and I would not ask for any other wonderful group of friends as well to be with me here in VR chat. So, now with all of those shoutouts complete, I guess the only thing I have left to say for this little video is that, once again, thank you all for being with me throughout this journey of life of mine. There's definitely been some hard steps along the way, and there have definitely been some odd little things happening here and there, especially in the world. Thanks a lot, COVID. But the important thing is that we all get through it together, and that we all stay together as the groups of people that we are. Even if we might be in, like, separate individual groups, the fact of the matter is that we're all connected in some way or another. And for that, I just honestly hope we can continue doing so together. The funny thing is, I know this whole thing is supposed to be about me. It's my 40th birthday. And, you know, I'm fine with that. But I wouldn't be who I am without all the rest of you. I can't emphasize that enough. I wouldn't be who I am without any of you. I would not have the ideas. I would not have the drive. I would not have somebody there to literally kick my ass when I fell down and tell me to get back up and keep going. Of course, like, I suppose one other little shout out here, although I don't know if any of them will actually ever see it because I don't know how much they actually look on YouTube. But of course, a shout out to my own family, to my actual family in real life. And, you know, I hope everybody in my family will be in good health for the coming years. Given my age, well, not to sound morbid, I know it's probably only a matter of time before my own parents will leave this plane of existence, but I'm not too worried about that at the moment. My mom survived cancer, and after this year, she'll be in the clear for that. And even though my dad is, you know, kind of getting a little bit slow in his age, he's still chugging. And then, of course, you know, I'm the second of 6 kids in the family. My older brother is highly successful. All my younger brothers and my sister are all doing fine in their own ways. And heck, my own mom said that she's actually pretty happy with how I've developed compared to how I was when I was a kid. Lord, how I was when I was a kid. But in the end, let's just wrap this up really quick. Thank you again, everybody. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for allowing me in your life. And here's to another 40 years. Possibly even more. I love every one of you. Thanks. Like, seriously. Thanks. See y'all around.